We are excited to announce that this year we have created decodable readers to go along with our kindergarten, first, and second grade phonics and spelling curriculum. If you don't know what a decodable reader is, it is a book that contains phonetic code that the kids have already learned. There will be a decodable reader to go with first grade, second grade, and kindergarten for each week of the curriculum that has the words that the kids have learned that week. Kindergarten, however, doesn't start until week 10 because it takes a little while for them to learn enough of the letters and sounds to be able to form enough words that could actually make a book. So, kindergarten starts in week 10, but for first grade and second grade, there is a book that goes for each week of the curriculum. So there are 32 weeks in the curriculum. That means there are 32 books that go with first grade, 32 books that go with second grade. Each book contains the spelling words and high frequency words that the kids have learned that week. And the great thing about decodable readers is that when kids are first learning to read, a lot of times they get frustrated whenever it has words that can't be decoded, words that they haven't learned yet. And so these only contain words that have the phonetic code that they know, and so it helps ease their frustration and it gets them more motivated to read when they are feeling successful, and it helps build good fluency and good reading strategies. When you purchase the decodable readers, you will receive a PDF printable format of the book as well as an ebook form of the book. This way you can print the books if you like in either blackline or color if you like it in color because they look cuter that way. Or if you're environmentally conscious and you want to save your paper and save your expensive ink and just use it on a tablet or a phone, you can do that as well. And they're compatible with any smartphone device, so it doesn't just have to be an iPad or a Kindle or something like that. It can be any smartphone that you have, they'll work on it. I'm going to show you an example of what one of the color and blackline versions looks like for each of the grade levels for kindergarten, first grade, and second grade. That way you can get an inside look to see what they really look like up close so you know what you're getting. This is an example of the very first book of the kindergarten decodable readers. Kindergarten, again, doesn't start the decodable readers until week 10 because it takes them a little while to learn enough letters and sounds to be able to form a book that actually has enough words in it. When you print the decodable readers, they'll look like this when you print them. This is an example of the blackline version. You can leave it blackline if you want to, or if you're given one of the decodable readers to each of the kids, they could color it. It's whatever you choose to do. The color version looked just like this, except for it was in color. And then I'm going to go through and show you what the book looks like up close, just so you can get an idea of what you're getting. So each book has a cute little cover. Everyone was written by me and illustrated by my sister. She's a good artist and is able to make cute graphics that the kids like and respond to. The very first page inside the book has the copyright info, obviously, but it also has a line where the student can write their name here in case their book gets lost, so you know who it goes to. And then each book contains 8 pages. Notice in the kindergarten version, it starts with very short sentences. This is week 10 in the curriculum. They're only about a third of the way through, and they've only learned a few letters and sounds, so there's not a whole lot of words that they have learned yet that can actually be able to be made into a book. So they start with short sentences so that the kids are not overwhelmed, and it's all going to be with words that they have learned the phonetic code for, or that they have learned the high frequency words. So it includes both the spelling and high frequency words. So I'm just going to flip through quickly so you can kind of see what they look like. Super cute graphics. And then at the very end of the book, you'll see that there are some comprehension questions. If this is something that's being sent home for parents to, or for the kids to read to their parents, they can ask them these questions after they've read them to make sure they've really comprehended them. If they haven't, it's a good idea to go ahead and read it again before you send the book back. And the answers are listed here. And it's also good for the teacher if the kid has read it the night before with their parents and you're going to test what they've learned, you can ask them these questions to make sure that they've really comprehended it. And if they haven't, then I would send the book home again and make them try it again. So that's an example of the kindergarten book. Here's an example of the first grade decodable reader. This is used in week 1. Notice it shows you here that this is first grade. That's what the 1 stands for. The second grade has the 2 and the kindergarten one has a K. And then -1, this is the first book of the decodable readers for first grade. So when you get the decodable readers, you'll get the black line version. And then this is an example of what the color version looks like all assembled. And I'm just going to flip through it quickly and show you what the inside of the first grade book looks like. So on these, notice that they have a few more words than the kindergarten words did. The kindergarten book only had 1 sentence. This has 2 sentences on the page. And gradually, as they begin to learn more sounds and more words, we'll add more words or more sentences to the books. But at the beginning, it usually only has about 2 to 3 sentences for the first grade books. Again, they're all words that they know the phonetic code to, and it's got words that they have learned the high frequency words. And then at the end, just like with kindergarten, there are the comprehension questions and the answers that parents can use to practice with their kids at home, or for the teacher to assess in the classroom what the kids have remembered from what they read the night before. Here is an example of the first decodable reader for second grade. Notice you can tell it's the second grade one because it has the 2 here, and then the -1 stands for it's the first decodable reader for second grade. Again, you get the black line version and the color version. I'm going to flip through the color version just so you can see what it looks like inside and get an idea. And I'm showing you that one because it looks better in color than it does in black and white, but it saves a lot more ink if you do it in black and white. I understand that. Notice on the second grade ones, it starts with more words on the second grade than it had in first grade. The sentences are longer and there may be more sentences on these pages, and it increases as you go through the program. So the ones in week 32 are going to have more words for sure than you had at the very beginning. Again, these have 8 pages. Cute graphics, and then at the end there are the comprehension questions and answers that you can go over with the kids. And then again on the back it has the phonics and spelling and sight words practice, and again it tells you which decodable reader it is and which week it goes for. Real quickly, I'm going to show you how you would assemble one of the decodable readers. Here I've got my stapler and my scissors, but if you have a paper cutter, it's definitely easier to do it that way. The first thing I want to tip you off on is when you do print these, always click the fit to page option on the PDF, because if you don't, some of the pages may be a little smaller at the top and some may be a little bit bigger, which makes for a not as pretty book. So make sure you click that fit to page option before you print it, so all of the pages will be the exact same size and they'll look better when you assemble them together. Okay, you're going to start by cutting on that solid black line on the first page. Again, I'm using scissors just because it's easier for me to show you in this video, but if you have a paper cutter, it will be much easier for you. The very first one that has the front and back cover, you're not going to cut on this dashed line, but all of the other ones you are going to cut on the solid line as well as on the dashed line. So let me show you how to do that. Then you want to assemble your pages in order. They all have the numbers at the bottom, so put them in the order with this one first and the comprehension questions last. Then you want to fold in half your front and back cover on that dotted line, trying to get it as straight as possible so it makes a pretty book. And then you'll put the pages that you've cut inside the book, like so. And then staple it 1, 2, 3 times, whichever your preference is. I'm going to do it twice just because that's what my preference is. And voila! Now you have a decodable reader to send home with the kids for them to read with their parents or to use in class, whichever your preference is. If while you're using the decodable readers throughout the year you have any questions, always feel free to email me. My email address is heather@watsonworksedu.com, and I will email you back just as soon as I can. We hope you enjoy using the decodable readers this year.